to my channel. I'm Liam. 1908 for me this round. So much better than last week's disaster, which moved me out a fair way in the ranks. But I've come back 1,000 spots. It's a step in the right direction. Tell the positive we can get this week after last week. 10,400. It's nothing to be overly pleased about, but it's better than 11,000. Round rank of 18,000, top 11%. I'll take it after a few mini trade mishaps. I made 4 trades this week. 2 of the players I traded out scored 100. Flinney and Jordan. Also bought in a player that didn't even play this week by the name of Reeves. Made the trades Thursday night after all the teams were locked in, settled. I was happy. I was going to be out Friday, so I wasn't going to have time to make them then. So I was pretty confident. This is the second time Thursday teams has stuffed me over with a late out, but what can you do? Just move on. It's one of those years nothing's really going right. I had a few positives to talk about with my team this week. Tommy Stewart was a very handy 130 to kick off the weekend. Just looked dominant. His intercept contested possession, which just gives you stacks of points. Just an intercept mark, contested intercept mark kick is pretty much like 10 points, and he does that 4 or 5 times a game. Very handy, and loves his little cheap kicks in the back line as well. Very good score with him this week. Whitfield, who I brought in, pretty disappointing with a 74. Just couldn't get near it in that game. Kelly took most of it, most of the ball for GWS. We couldn't find much of it. Short 111. Take that and run. Salem 99. Very impressive start. Slowed down a bit late. As Collingwood hit back, but you take 99. Better than his 260s that he performed in the last 2 weeks. Jones 43 didn't count for me this week, but stagnates his cash generation just a little bit. But hopefully he can bounce back. Just play next week is all I'm asking for defenders next week with most of them out. But the real specialty for this week is Tommy Highmore. This was the funniest moment. Just watching the game, he had 3 intercept marks in the first 5 minutes. I was like, what the hell's happening here? I was just going to loop him with Murphy and take 60 and run, not expecting any of these scores to count. By quarter time, he was on 50. And it was just absolutely everywhere for St Kilda. And then continued it on for the rest of the game. Got to 111. You should just take that and run any day of the week. And then Murphy scored 12, which is a bit disappointing for cash generation, but at least that choice went right this week, and didn't. Luke Jones played Murphy and probably would have still scored the same, but just injuries are just annoying these days. Onto the midfield, mostly all right. Oliver got to 108, struggled really early, couldn't get near it, and if they stayed in the game longer, would have scored much better than his 108. But as Collingwood kicked away at the end, his score just stagnated, like most of the Melbourne players. Laird 132, shook off the tag, and he's been instrumental in the last few weeks. Probably should have VC'd him in the end. Stupidly went Duncan, I don't know why. I don't know. I just don't know why. Playing probably one of the hardest teams to score against in Port, and he was just nowhere in that game. Cunnington very happy with his 129. Loved watching North actually do alright for once, and he absolutely dominated. He was on 96 at half time. Slowed down late as GWS finally kicked into gear, but I take that. He was actually the worst scorer of my three options I was going to bring in this week. I had a choice of Mitchell, Wines, and Cunnington, and all of them went 129 or more. Wish I grabbed two or three of them, but that wasn't the case. Taranto 101 started strong and then just faded as the game, as GWS started winning more ball. It was a bit interesting. Again, his disposal's been pretty poor, and he just struggles to get over that 100 mark. He just can't have it go at an efficiency of more than 65 and have 25 or more possessions. He just struggles to do that. Poulter, 61. He's a rookie. You just take it. He's got nothing. And most people have him. It'll be a tough one whether you trade him this week or not. There's really no rookies to bring in this week at all, other than Newcomb, who most people go early on this week, as there is no one else to choose from. But he's done very well. Poulter, 70 average, a few handy 80s in there. Very happy with him. Not very happy with my other trade in Bianco. My trades were absolutely shite this week. Oh no, Cunnington wasn't, but brought in Bianco. His mid defence is fairly handy, but he does have this bye coming up. Probably in hindsight should have gone Coleman Jones, move one of my forwards up, but he scored 275s in the last 2 weeks, but just couldn't get near it in this game. And I feel like he won't get dropped. I feel like Collingwood will still like to play these young ones, but luckily it was best 18, and he didn't have to count. Gorn, 123, very worried being on 33 at the half, but just stepped it up like he usually does. Scored 90 in the second half and saved my week a little bit after the Duncan VC mishap. And I was very, very not happy hearing the Reeves news after I made the trades on Thursday. I hold them back throughout the whole year. During those lockouts, I get worried, make last-minute moves, and I'm finally confident, set on trades, and then this happens. I need him to play next week to actually probably get to 18 with the lack of rookie options coming off their bye, but we'll see about that. Onto the forwards, Aaron Hall, masterclass. Very worried early, having attention with the ball, but that only lasted a quarter, and he scored 130, 125 in the last 3 quarters. Just racks it up down in defence. Handball receives. He gets so many a game. He loves to contested possession handball and then gets it back, kicks it. That's like 10 points. He does that a few times a game. His disposal lets him down a little bit, stops him from getting probably the 160 that he could with the amount of ball he gets. But it's been one of my best trade-ins. Shai Bolton, 96. I can't complain with that sort of scoring. With West Coast coming back again, he probably lost a little bit in scaling. Could have had 105, 110, if not for the West Coast comeback. That was similar to Martin, 110. You can't complain. He's pretty much in every side, Dusty, so whatever he scores doesn't overly have much influence. Zeeble, 91. Again, like Martin, everyone has him. So no matter what he scores, it makes overly no difference. Impey, very disappointing, 51. He's lost his form of late. And if it wasn't for this week's bye, he would be probably one of my number one to get rid of this week. It's just lack of form. and just seems to be everywhere. Doesn't seem to have a set position at Hawthorn. Can be in the midfield, can be at forward, can be up defence. Um, so yeah, his job security is fine, but um, with Hawthorn, even with Hawthorn absolutely dominating, he couldn't get his hands on it, which is a worrying sign. But we'll have to wait and see. So I'll be back on either tomorrow or Wednesday with my trade talk video. It's a very tough one this week. There's a lot of players that are coming off their bye. However, there are pretty much no rookies to go down to next week. And with was it 8 teams on their bye? It's an incredibly tough week to field 18. If you can get to 18, I think that would be incredible. At the moment, I have 16 including Reeves, and then before trades, and I'm looking at possibly going Murphy to Newcombe via Laird, and then looking for possibly just a rookie to play next week. And get rid of either Brockman or possibly if I can get a 400k guy, I might, if there's no rookies on off, I might go Poulter up to an underpriced premium bet possibly. That's probably what I'm looking at this week, but I'll talk about more of that during the week.